Hey there, I'm going to be traveling this summer, and as a creator, there are a few things I always carry with me. Let me show you. Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, firstly, thank you for clicking. My name is Akash, and I photograph and travel the world, all while working at a massive consulting firm. Today, we're going to be unboxing and talking about some of the gear I just got before my next trip, and why you should be investing in these first. Let's go. The first thing I want to be talking about is batteries. No matter what you shoot on, your phone, a mirrorless camera, or an action cam, the last thing you want is for your batteries to be dying on you at the end of the day. In fact, you don't want to be sitting at a cafe close to a wall socket charging your batteries, all while missing out on that beautiful sunset or golden hour. Always carry extra batteries with you. Here's a pro tip if you're shooting with your phone. Whenever I'm traveling and I sit down to eat at a cafe or a restaurant, I always charge my phone at the same time. My phone eats while I eat. That way you don't have to worry about any cables dangling or you charging your phone at the same time while you are having to shoot, and you have sufficient battery to shoot all your content at the end of your day. The next two things are an absolute must when it comes to mirrorless or DSLR cameras. That's ND filters and a reliable travel tripod. The biggest mistake that most content creators make is waiting for the ideal conditions to shoot. Let's say you have a 6-hour layover in Amsterdam before your next flight, and it's cloudy outside. It's always 100% of the times better than shooting in those 6 hours than not shooting at all. As video creators, the three ways in which we control light and depth are shutter speed, ISO, and aperture. While shooting a video, your shutter speed should always be twice over your frame rate. So let's say if you're shooting at 30 frames per second, your shutter speed would be fixed at 1/60. That means you can't increase or decrease it to control light coming into your sensor. The lowest ISO that most cameras go to is 100, and if you're shooting in broad daylight, that might be a little too bright and your footage might be overexposed or a little too bright. The only element that you can use to control this bright environment is aperture. However, increasing aperture would mean you would get a flatter image and you would lose that blurry background or that depth of field that makes you pop from the background. This is where ND filters would come in. ND filters act like sunglasses and you can slap them in front of your lens and then control the bright environment and also get that smooth blurry background that everyone loves. A tripod is like a third arm, honestly. You can practically set it up anywhere, walk away and start shooting. You don't have to worry about finding a spot to keep your camera or like balance it somewhere or something. Super convenient. Also, if you're taking time lapses, just set up your tripod, walk away and start recording that wonderful time lapse. Just make sure nobody runs away with it. For those long exposure shots, a tripod would keep the camera super steady and you'd get the best shots possible. Also, I use this one by Peak Design. It's lightweight, almost the size of my water bottle, and it practically fits anywhere, including the side water bottle compartment of any bag. Also, check this out. This is probably the coolest coin out there. Next up is having a lot of storage. That's having enough SD cards during the day to shoot your content and having a reliable way to back up your footage at the end of each day. I trust these Samsung T7 Shield SSDs. They're small and practically built like a tank. At the end of each shoot day, I always back up my footage to 2 locations. The most efficient way I found to do this is copying files from SD card number 1 to your backup solution number 1 and then copying once again from the SD card to backup solution number 2. You should almost never copy files from backup solution 1 to backup solution 2 because let's say the files got corrupted in backup solution number 1, then you're essentially making a copy of the corrupted files to your second solution. Not good. And last but not the least is having a good backpack and a nice organizational solution. I use this bag by Peak Design. I think it's the V2 and the Everyday Backpack. And for the organizational solution, I use these two. This is the Nomatic Peter McKinnon camera case and the SD card case. And with that, I hope you guys have a wonderful summer ahead and remember to travel soon. I mean, seriously, just pack your bags and head out right now. Book those tickets, book those flights, travel today. You will almost never regret traveling. In fact, you would always wish you had traveled sooner. I do have a few videos in the works, and if you like this one, do give it a like and hit subscribe to know where I'm traveling this summer. Alright, see you in the next one.